Hey guys, hey everyone. If you can hear me well, if you can see me well, just let me know by waving your hand or saying I'm ready. Well, my name is Elena Paris, and today we have an unusual live stream, and a native teacher is going to join and talk about slang. So hopefully that will be fun. All right. I'm waiting for the request, and then we're ready to start. But probably a few minutes before we start. All right. Okay, this is the first experience for me, guys, doing this kind of thing. I have never done a live stream together with someone before, so I'm really hoping, well, it will be a success. So let's wait. Hey. Well. So if you can hear me well, just one more time, so let me know, okay? So I think we're ready to start. Just hold on. Hey.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well.
I'm good. Good. How are you doing? And it's not the first time for you to do this kind of thing, like streaming together with someone.
Almost.
Almost.
Two times so far. And it was fun. I have to be honest. I was a little bit nervous, but it was fun. So hopefully we'll have some fun too.
I'm a little nervous right now too, but that's okay. So, guys, we're going to speak today about slang and American slang, to be exact, because well, this guy is from the United States. So please tell about yourself a little bit, just for the guys to be able to understand what kind of person you are, like what experience in teaching and so on. Okay?
Sure. So, as was said, I am from the United States. I was born in the state of Nebraska. It's right in the middle.
Okay.
Some people call it flyover country, and that means because all the fun stuff is on the east and in the far west, and you just fly over.
Okay.
So that's a nice little phrase that maybe they can pick up.
Okay.
There is a lot of corn, a lot of cows, and a lot of American football. So that's what I grew up.
All right.
So,
as I remember well, you used to play football, or probably you're still playing football.
Yes, I do. Not American football. I play proper English European football. Yes.
Oh, okay, that's weird, right? No.
It does make me a bit strange for a person from where I'm from. But from there, I went to university right outside Chicago. I always loved Chicago. I grew up watching Michael Jordan, and so I always wanted to go to Chicago, and that's where I became a teacher. So that was the start. The start of it all was actually in Chicago.
Okay, so you went to college there.
Yes. So I left home. I flew out of the nest away from home and went to Chicago. It was about 1,000 kilometers or thereabouts away from home. So I was a ways. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so probably we should go directly to the topic because we don't have a lot of time. Well, Instagram doesn't allow to do, I think, more than, well, maybe now they allow, because I haven't done it for a while. So, but before that, it was only one hour possible, so I got used to that.
Sure. Let's
well,
dig in.
All right, my first question. Let's do it like an interview a little bit.
Okay.
So, why do you think slang is so difficult for the English learners? So, according to your experience.
Well, in my experience, slang is it's like alive. It's a really a living part of language. It's constantly changing. Even for me, while I've been in Russia for nearly 10 years, the slang in the United States has changed. So even some of my friends back home will say, "Oh, you still say that?" Because they've changed their lingo. They've changed their style of speech a little bit over time. But I think what makes it really hard is that it's sort of a living thing, and B, pop culture we don't really teach it, right? We use pop culture to teach language, but we don't really teach how to speak like a person on the street in the United States will speak to another person on the street in the United States.
Right.
Right. So while we teachers are focusing on structure and grammar and syntax and like dictionary vocabulary, the language is changing. It's
changing at this very moment.
Absolutely. So I think that makes it really difficult to stay up to date with.
Right. So this is one thing, but I should notice that it's also difficult for especially well, the levels lower than intermediate, due to the fact that the word can mean absolutely a different thing. You know, like, well, they see something that is familiar, but it means absolutely, well, a different thing, a different idea or reality. And well, and I noticed that among my students, well, it happened so that they were confused. They didn't know. They tried to translate, for instance, one part, the second part, the third part, because sometimes it can be a phrase, and it didn't make any sense.
Right.
So,
if you think about in your teaching, another area that probably is really difficult for your students is dealing with idiom or idiomatic expressions. Right. And slang and idiom really are like brothers and sisters, sort of.
Right, they're interconnected.
Absolutely. And a lot of times when it comes to, like you say, idiom or slang, the words mean something different than they would naturally, but also they can actually be the exact opposite of their actual meaning. So in the 1990s, like when Michael Jackson was popular, he said, "I'm bad," right? But he very much meant, "I'm very good." He very much meant, "I'm the best." And so that is a perfect example of how it's 180 degrees from the actual meaning.
Yeah, the opposite.
Absolutely. So that's definitely true. And if you look at slang terms for like cool, for instance, cool as a slang term, we all know now.
Right.
But when it first came out, that would have been a really strange way to say that something is good, that it's cool. But there are a number of words that now are synonyms for cool that also make no sense. A lot of my friends will say things like, "That's dope," or "That's sick."
Yeah,
or
yeah, I have heard it in the American series. Yes, right. That's dope.
And these are all in their first meaning. These are all negative terms. They're all
dope. It means like sleepy, something under the influence of some narcotics or something.
It absolutely can.
Yeah, drugs. Well, yeah, that's the opposite, right? Because when you are under the influence of something, you feel sleepy, you feel
Sure.
like slow,
Sure.
right? But here it means like cool, the opposite. Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
I mean, as much as I am a linguist, I'm not an etymologist. I haven't studied word origin very deeply across the entirety of a language, but something like dope, for instance, it does have ties to like criminality. It does have the idea of drug use, and somehow
Hmm.
I guess the
Hmm.
in hip hop and popular culture, this has turned from drugs make you feel good and good
Ah,
is
like you
cool.
are like a cool guy, right? Something like that.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
So like I'm bad, I'm doing drugs, yes, and that's why I'm cool.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
good, oh my goodness. So, or like Americans say, oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
The, now, funny enough, that even in and itself has been shortened to OMG. People will
Oh
say
really?
OMG. They will,
OMG
yeah, instead of it being an acronym, they'll actually say that. So again, even our slang changes into new
changes,
forms.
right? That's cool because I was in America very long ago. So it was 2007. So
Mhm.
how many years ago? 13 years ago. So,
A
well,
little while.
probably the things that I remember right now are completely different in terms of slang, I mean.
Right.
So that's
Cer-
why.
Certainly.
All
And
right.
if you if you watch really like the best source of finding out what slang is, so for anyone who wants to learn some slang, the best
Mhm.
sources of slang are always going to be like urban culture or like city life or actually criminals. um, if you
Right.
I just did a lecture on slang not long ago, and
Oh,
so
I'm
very
lucky then.
very like coincidental.
Okay.
But if you look back into even into like proper English slang, the Queens from Elizabethan England, um, the Shakespeare was a master of slang, and
Yeah, he was.
and a lot of his works were actually like censored because they were so
Mhm.
dirty and so
Right.
full of slang and words that people were not really used to. And even till today, you see like slang created by pirates that we still use, and slang created by cowboys and outlaws that we still use, and then by
So
like
bad
punks
guys.
and yeah. So being bad, being like a bad guy, has always been a part of the development of slang. So if you want to learn slang, you have to look for the bad guy, really.
But guys, not necessarily, please. Well, just looking at them, well, watching the series, that will be enough.
It will help. You definitely don't go out on the street searching for the bad guy.
Right.
Movies and music will do just fine. Absolutely.
Yeah, that will be fun. Okay. Thank you. Well, what do you think about the United States in general? When I was there, I thought and I noticed that a lot of slang was used really by people everywhere, even in some official situations, which was a surprise for me. So, is it the same right now? Is it
Yeah,
widely used?
I would say if you I don't know, for instance, if we look at like the top down, I don't know that President Trump, for instance, he doesn't use a lot of slang, but he speaks extremely informally for a president.
Right.
If you go back
Mhm.
to Obama, he has roots in Chicago, and so he would throw a little bit of slang into some of his speeches, and he sort of had a like a cool, like a very personable style, and some of that was
Mhm.
definitely taken from his time in Chicago and spending time with normal people like on the street. And so some of his swagger or his style and attitude is sort of based in that sort of culture as well. So I think you can definitely see it from like top down all the way to regular folks, that there is some slang that is absolutely everyday. Like every person uses it, government official, all the way down to teacher. I know as a teacher in Chicago public schools for years, I definitely use slang in the classroom. We learned poetry from modern poets, and there's certainly slang in that. And so it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Right, but slang is different, I guess, depending on the age group, or something is the same and something is different. So how does it work?
That's certainly true as well. I wouldn't say that I'm really like plugged in to what the cool kids are doing these days
nowadays.
but certainly when I listen to music, I'm a huge hip hop fan my whole life. So when I listen to music that's new and coming out, certainly the lexicon is changing. So phrases like lit, like it's lit, means it's a really good party, it's really fun. That definitely didn't exist 5 or 6 years ago. I had never heard that, but 5 years ago, no one said it. No.
Okay, but is it difficult for a native speaker to understand something new as well? So do you also need some time to process this? Hello. Well, it seems like the connection is not very good. Hello. Are you still here? Hello. Hi.
Hello.
So we have some connection issue, I think. Do you hear me?
If it's mine or
well, that's hard to say, to be honest. I have no idea. Hello. Well, guys, if you see me still, please let me know somehow, because I don't know what's going on. If you can hear me and don't hear the other guy, so let me know, because I really don't know what is going on. Hello. So, well, that can be the situation with the connection. It's probably features. Well, yeah, I can see that he left. Okay, so guys, do you hear me at least? Probably my connection is all right, and you can still see me. If you see me, just let me know. I think that Aeron is going to be back. Okay, we can see you but not always hear. So really, even me, because I can hear myself, of course. Well, everything is okay, so it seems that now it's perfectly fine. Okay, guys, we need some more feedback, because I don't know what's going on. Well, let's try again to add Aeron. Okay. Well, and you're back.
Okay, I think so. I hope so. This actually happened with myself and the other live as well, about 20 minutes, and then it started having problems for both of us. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it will calm down a little bit.
All right, good. So where were we?
You were asking if it's difficult even as
To
a native
understand.
speaker, to sort of like take in this new slang. If it's American slang, then I have no problem like adapting at all. So if I meet with my friends or we talk on the phone, I'll hear something new, and then I pretty much, based on the context and the tone, I can immediately sort of put it into my working dictionary and use it. But with other native English speakers, it can be really difficult.
Okay. So, especially with the English guys, or just with everyone who speaks English?
I would say especially with UK natives, for sure.
Right.
I would include the Irish. I would include Scottish with that as well.
Okay.
Yes, I have a number.
Have you had any stories? Have you had any funny stories about that? Maybe you'll tell us.
It was whenever I play football here, and most of the guys are English in the league. English, some Russian, some Turkish, but mostly English guys. And when they're all together, they definitely have a shared language. Whether they're from Manchester, whether they're from Liverpool or London, they have different accents, but the same language. And I honestly find myself understanding all of the normal things that people talk about, but when they start telling jokes or they start to use slang, some of it will fly over my head as well. So I had to ask the other day. My friend said, "I can't play football. I'm at the Margaret." And I said, "The Margaret?" And he said, "Dacha. I'm at Dacha." And he said, "It's rhyming slang. The Margaret, like Margaret Thatcher. Like and I said, he's like, "It rhymes. Her last name rhymes with Dacha." And I said, "To an American, it doesn't rhyme. Because we say Margaret Thatcher. With a hard A and hard R sounds, it doesn't sound the same."
So for them, that sounds like a rhyme. Okay.
Like Margaret Thatcher, I'm at Dacha. That's rhyming slang for them. And to me, I had no idea what they were talking about. No.
So I would have no idea too if I hear that.
That's a particularly unique one that came up just the other day. So.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, thank you for sharing.
No, there are others that I've had recently with the same group of guys, but they sort of are like naughty words. They're sort of bad words.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to share those with your.
Well, if they're not too bad.
they're not too bad. We say.
Okay, that's fine.
There's the word like pissed, right? In the US, this is slang for angry. So
right, like I'm pissed.
I'm angry. In the UK, if I'm pissed, it means that I've been drinking.
Oh, is that really so?
Same exact structure, same location in a sentence, very different meaning, right?
Wow.
So, and there are a lot of them. There are a lot.
I remember somebody told me something related to roast chicken. I don't remember exactly, but I remember that in America it meant one thing, and in England it meant something like in England it meant something fried. But in America, it meant something like smoking a pot or something like this. I don't remember exactly what the word was, but somebody shared.
I haven't seen this one, but what I know is one of my friends. It was around New Year last year, and he was like, "I need a care package with some Scotch eggs, and I think he said like chocolate buttons."
What's that?
And I said, what is that? Because to me that sounded awful. It sounded like one of the worst care package in the world.
Okay.
But it comes in the U.S. we would have called these like pickled eggs, and still doesn't sound very good, but I understood it very differently. I thought it had something to do with like Scotch whiskey or something. Totally not that. So when it's not just cookies and biscuits or crisps and chips, there's a really a ton of different vocabulary that's very different between the US and Great Britain.
But anyway, it's fun, right? When you come up to this and well, start asking the questions like what that like really means, you get the answers which are sometimes not expected, right? Well, okay, so
and
interesting.
I'm like I'm one of the few Americans that I've run into. I only know maybe two other Americans in Moscow. So I'm in this situation all the time.
All right. So, okay, can you share with us the top five slang phrases or expressions for the guys to learn something from our live stream today? So, like, what do you think is very important to know for the person who's going to America, who's going to travel there and to speak to people?
I think the first one, and this was actually given to me by my wife, who if you follow us, you'll have seen.
Yeah, she's Russian and she was studying together with you.
Yes,
in the United States,
and because of me, she is a proficiency level American slang speaker. Yeah, so she would also say this, but she remembers walking down the street her first day at university, and I think she had this in a post recently as well. But someone walked by, a cool guy, and said, "Hey, what's up?" And she stopped.
Okay.
And looked at
him,
and looked around and said, like, no, I don't know.
Because something is up.
because she had never encountered this phrase before. And that, not only for her and not only 20 years ago, but now, what's up is used by every American every day. Hey, Gary, what's up? Hey, Jack, what's up? Nothing much. What's up? This is a key one. You will, if someone sees you or interacts with you, maybe not in a super formal context, when someone says, what's up, you talk about how you're doing. That's number one thing. Oh, I'm great. What's up? Not much. I'm great. That's an easy way to be right in there with the top slang.
That's a good one, by the way. I remember also that when I went to the United States, I didn't know this phrase as well. So, and that was new for me. And by the way, nowadays the application that everybody is using, yes, it's called WhatsApp, right? Because they played on words, and but the idea is like this. Yes, you exchange everyday news with your friends and relatives and so on. So you ask them what's up.
I'm not. Well, you may have just educated some people. I'm not sure. I mean, I as a native knew this, of course, right away. I got it. I said, "Aha, that's quite clever." But I'm not sure if every single language learner would catch that one. And it's certainly "what's up" or "how's it going?" And not that "how's it going" is difficult to understand, but these contracted verbs like gonna, going, doing, that Americans use a lot. That's something that throws people off too.
Right, true. Okay, so what will be the next one?
I think probably it would have to have something to do with cool. So
Mm-hmm.
there are, for my lecture and for our school, I've put together a huge list of slang words. And definitely the word that has the most slang synonyms is cool. I have a very long list of these. So if you're in the United States and something cool happens or something very interesting happens, you may hear the words, I mentioned before, that's dope. I mentioned that's sick, that's ill, that's fresh, that's tight, that's hot,
Okay.
that's raw. Raw is like
Oh, even raw.
um,
Wow.
that's fire, and that's where the like emoji, the fire emoji comes from, is that's fire or that's hot.
Okay.
So those ones, if you can use hot, like, oh, that's hot, that song is hot, you'll be right.
It's like really cool.
You'll be really cool. You'll be in vogue. But funny enough as well, if you're using hot, it also means like beautiful, sexy. So
Right,
you'll also
I know
hear
that.
about someone, ooh, he's hot or she's hot in TV shows or in movies. He's hot, she's hot will be about beauty.
You'll have the sexual meaning, right?
Yeah, so that will have a nice double meaning for you depending on the context.
Right.
So
What about awesome? So, what about awesome? Is it still used? Awesome,
absolutely.
guys.
But funny enough, awesome is one that is like, it's like in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. It's not really even slang anymore. It's more of an accepted, more of an accepted standard English in a way. So.
Yeah, but I just remember this word. Why? Because before going to the United States, I had never heard of this, and that's why. Well, yeah, when we were at the university, we were studying more like United Kingdom English, something like fabulous, amazing, marvelous, something like that. But awesome, the first time I heard in America.
Of course, and I think awesome really came around in maybe the 80s or 90s, being very popular in California. This was like surfer slang. And a lot of that, like California surfer slang, has become a big part of American society. So awesome, everybody says that. Grandma says that, and your toddler says that, right?
Children, everyone.
Everybody. Another really useful group of words that you'll hear in the US is about money as well. So for money, you'll hear a number of different slang terms, like do you have De Niro, greenbacks.
Okay.
Greenbacks makes some sense because the money there is green.
Right.
Paper. Stacks. Stacks means like a thick wad of cash. We also use like food slang. So cheddar means money, and that's a type of cheese. Cheese means money. Bread, dough, cake, guac, like guacamole from avocados. This is also slang for money as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a ton for money.
The food vocabulary is used for expressing the idea of the money.
Absolutely. And
weird,
there's a very wide array of that as well used.
Okay. All right. What do you personally use to say money?
Now it's probably babki, but
because you're speaking mostly Russian,
yeah.
yes.
In our house, it's really like a Runglish situation where hey, give me babki. My son speaks like this too. He puts together like half English, half Russian
Right.
sentences a lot.
Yeah, I do have
so
the same.
it's very funny.
I do have the same situation with my daughter, but my daughter speaks Portuguese and Russian, so,
Cool.
and she also mixes everything. Well, if she doesn't remember the word exactly right now in Portuguese, she's just using the Russian word. So,
Sure.
like,
Sure.
Daddy, help me to get out of the machina. Something like this, she can say, but only in Portuguese, together with Russians.
If I were to pick an English word for money, I would probably say ducats. Ducats.
I have never heard that.
Yeah, ducats is it's related to, and you're testing my history knowledge, but it might have been, I think, ancient Carthage or something in like ancient Roman times, but not Rome. Someone used a system of money called ducats, and 3,000 years later, this came back into like hip hop culture. Like I got the ducats, and so if my wife asked me for like, hey, do you have any cash on you? Cash is probably one that's probably most common. You have any cash? I'll be like, yeah. You need some ducats? You need how many ducats you need? But that's like mostly when I'm sort of messing with her, when I'm joking around.
Okay, right. What about bucks? Bucks,
absolutely. This one, $100 or $10. This is so normal that again, it's sort of like an everyday. The mayor of a city may use this at some point in time.
You can hear it everywhere, so I remember that.
Hey, do you have $10? Hey, you got $5? Can I get $5?
Yeah.
It's one that in like urban centers, instead of saying, can I borrow $5? People will say, they'll say, can I hold that? Hey, can I hold $5? Yeah. Something about the word borrow they don't like, but they'll say, can I hold that? And that'll be another way to say borrow.
Well, definitely, it's better to hold something than to own something to somebody.
Yeah. I think there's definitely logic there.
Right. Okay. Cool. So, what else? We mentioned a lot of things, but probably you have something else that you prepared for us. And
well, I always try to be prepared, but I think when we were sort of setting this up, we talked about like talking about like regional slang in the United States. And so just like you would say in Great Britain or in the United States, we have different accents all over.
Right.
There's also like regional slang. So if you wanted to sound like someone from Texas, when you're addressing a group of people, you'll say y'all. Short for you.
You all. Yes.
Yeah. So instead of saying hey guys, you'll say hey y'all.
Hey y'all. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, and this is pretty much like the entire southern region will say y'all anytime they're talking to other people. It may even be only to one other person. I've actually heard that as well. Y'all typically would seem as if it's plural, but actually they use it for anyone. So
even
y'all
for one
going to
person.
the movies, yeah, y'all going to the store, pick me up something, please, stuff like that.
Okay,
so that's one.
That's interesting. Yeah. And this is taxes. Yes, you said it came from taxes.
Yeah,
but if I use it somewhere else, like New York, will people understand me?
They'll definitely understand you. It would be very interesting to hear you say that in New York, because you have your accent would be very non-standard for New York City, and it would be non-standard for someone who says y'all. So they would be very confused, I'm sure of it. They would be like, yeah, I understand you completely, but that's very strange to hear you say that. Certainly.
Right, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
just
it's
realized one more really useful like group of slang that I wanted to say earlier was about shoes. I don't know if anyone of your followers love shoes. I am really like a big shoe guy.
fun.
As I mentioned, I like hip hop, so I love like Nike high tops and things like that going back my whole life. And there's a number in the US, you may have someone, if you're wearing cool shoes, someone may say something. In the US, people are very quick to give compliments to strangers. It's very odd. If you go to the US, you'll probably, and you may have experienced this, you'll probably have conversations with strangers while standing in
Yeah,
line.
I did.
People will talk to you
Right,
with
everywhere.
no
In the
reason,
lift, in the lift, in the
with no warning.
street, like, right, exactly. Everybody
Yes.
is saying hi and they start talking to you, like a small talk about something
And
easy and
sometimes they'll share a lot of information with you. Like my daughter just had a baby. She's she's in the hospital still, and she's really not feeling good after the. And you're like, whoa, we just met. It's very
right.
frustrating sometimes. But if someone comes up to you and you have really cool shoes on, they may say something like, "Nice kicks." Or
Kicks,
nice, you've probably heard sneakers, but they might say like
sneakers, yeah.
sneaks, the tennies, they'll say a lot of different stuff like that about shoes as well. So that's another group. Kicks, high tops, sneaks, sneakers, of course. That's another one that people talk about a lot in the US, especially now that sort of shoe culture is popular all over.
I guess that I haven't faced that because of one reason. I was working on the beach area, and no one was actually wearing
No
shoes.
shoes.
Well,
That's
just
very funny.
the slippers, and
So
so
you
that
missed out on a whole variety of slang just by location. But did you hear sandals mostly or flip flops?
right. Uh, the second one,
Flip
the
flops.
second one, right? Yeah.
Right. That would be considered slang as well, but that has become very normal in like beach communities. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, because
So,
probably it was called like sandals before, but
oh yes,
everyone is
most
using
definitely.
flip-flops right now. Right.
Most definitely.
Oh, that's very, very interesting. I'm so excited
Yeah.
because I'm learning today too.
Next time you go back, you'll be ready. You'll be absolutely ready.
Right. I will know some more slang like
Yeah.
that's dope, dude.
There you go. I expect when I'm looking at your posts in the next week or so, maybe you'll throw in
A few things.
some of the slang.
Yeah, probably. Yes,
I
probably.
hope so.
Well, okay. By the way, do you people in America still use okie dokie? Okie
Oh,
dokie.
sure. Where I'm from, we call the area the Midwest. And in the Midwest, people are extremely polite. And so when they're trying to leave, leaving a party or getting off the phone in the Midwest takes about 30 minutes. It takes a long time. Even if it's not a big party, it could only be a couple people. And you'll say things like, well, okie dokie, I guess we gotta go. And then you'll start the next conversation on the way to the door. And then whoop. Well,
And then the next time, okie dokie.
okie dokie, we gotta go. And then you put your shoes on. And then well, okie dokie. And then you finally go to the car. And then you maybe leave at that point. So that's definitely true. Okie dokie, ope, whelp. Whelp is like sort of like well, but with a sort of like nope. How we create no.
Okay, like nope, nope, well.
Yeah. So well, I'm gonna get up and go now. That's I remember my grandparents saying this stuff all the time. Okie dokie and ope and well. I heard this all the time growing up.
Right. One of my friends also used that a lot. That's why I still remember this after 13 years. So I remember a lot more actually, like screw, for example. It was also the word that I heard for the first time in the United States. Screw you, or something like.
Yeah.
Well, like. Or screw it, or you're screwed, dude.
Absolutely. That's a really good one. That's like choosing to say like bleen instead of something else. You're saying like the nicer, slightly nicer version than the really bad thing, like swearing.
Right, like you did something really wrong and really bad.
Right. So you might even hear like some teenagers or like 10-year-olds say like screw it. You know, they're real mad.
Yeah, that's right. Screw it.
And their parents are like, but they're a little mad, but it's okay. No one's gonna get in trouble. Or like heck. Kids will say things like, oh heck. Instead of saying the actual bad words. So.
It's instead of F blah 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 word, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what a hack. Let's see.
What the heck?
Well, I've heard this, but probably have never used it myself. Well, one more thing, because I was also preparing, recollecting the slang that I remember. So I also remember one more thing that I heard only in the United States, a douchebag. Douchebag. Do you know? That's a bad one, right? Sorry, guys, if you watch me. But this one is like a jerk, something like a bad guy or a bad person.
This actually used to be like a medical product for women. For the downstairs area.
Oh, really?
It would have been considered like a cleaner.
Okay.
This would be sold in any drugstore, like Apteka. It was very regular in the 70s and 80s to use this to like clean areas. And now it means like a jerk, yeah. And I will say I feel very bad. I'll admit this though. I'm pretty sure I said it when I was once parking here. My son was about 2.5 in the back seat, and I said, "Oh, you know, douchebag," and because someone had parked poorly, and I couldn't get in, and he thought I said juice bag. He was like, "Yeah, Dad."
Why did you say juice?
On juice bag.
Well, that wasn't like that.
We saw like a really flashy, cool car, like a big yellow Hummer SUV. And he walked by and he said, "Ooh, juice bag."
Well, thank God that he repeated it this way, but not in a normal.
I'm pretty sure he does know it though. But this is an example where, as you said, I don't know that almost anyone really knows the connection to the actual thing that started the word.
The historical part is interesting.
Yeah, I am sort of like I'm dating myself. I'm telling you sort of how old I am just by saying that I know what this product is. But yeah, now it's a slang.
I guess people use it without understanding like what it really meant before, right? Well, okay. Sorry for saying that out loud.
That's lovely.
That's really what I remember really, really well from the trip.
I understand how that would happen. Yes.
Okay, so I think we will finish for today, but it was really fun, and thank you so much.
No problem
Lots
at
of
all. I don't know how we could top top that after that last one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, let's have a look very quickly at the questions. Probably people
yeah.
asked that I just don't know. Well, in my phone is, well, just a moment. No, just people said hi, hi. Nothing interesting, to be honest. Well,
yeah, some people, hi Ilya, привет.
Yeah, and somebody said to roast someone, it's like to make fun. Oh, this one I didn't know too.
Yeah, absolutely. If you
roast
someone, you are making fun of them. That is absolutely true. Yeah, nicely done,
okay,
whoever that was. Well done, well done.
I will remember that too. Okay, what else? So I don't see questions. Everything is okay. Your camera. Don't smile too much. So, all right.
That might be.
But I like smiling. No, I think they meant me in this case because I do this all the time, but that's fine. Well, not everybody likes that. Я забираю тебя замуж. No, I'm already married. Sorry, guys. So, and I have 2 kids, and that's enough. Well, okay.
The people who will join your live videos, you never know. No, but
well,
again, if any of your followers ask you directly about stuff and you're not sure, I'm happy to help answer any of those questions. So send them my way. Yeah.
Sure, thank you. And I think I will save. I think. I guess I will save in my feeds, and then I think people can ask you the questions there. Well, you can comment or something like this. Well, absolutely. Anyway, I think it will be useful. So, good. Thank you so much for the live stream and all the information. And maybe one day we will meet again. So let's see the feedback from people.
Maybe I'll have something for you as well. I'll prepare some questions that maybe our followers come with. I really enjoy it. So let's see if there's an option to do something again.
Right, sure. Okay, bye bye, guys. Right,
take care.
see
Bye.
you. Bye.